Hey guys, and welcome back. Another review. Representative from Andonstar reached out to me and offered a product for review, and this is one that I just couldn't say no to. And you know, I get a lot of companies, several a week, reach out to me and want me to review their products, and a lot of them I turn down. And this one, I couldn't turn it down. And what we have here is the Andonstar AD407 Pro. Now this is, if you go on YouTube, you'll find a lot of reviews on the AD407, but I've seen no pros on the on YouTube, any reviews of the Pro version. So we'll get this unboxed, we'll take a look at it, put it together, and see how well it works. Alright guys, you can see quite a bit of stuff here on the bench that was in that little box. I tell you, it's well packed in there, and it's hard to believe that all that stuff came out of this one little box. But what this is, the AD407 Pro, is a digital microscope. So let's go ahead and get it put together and see how this works. Now, one thing that I noticed different between the regular brand and the Pro is the camera mount has a boom arm on it. The standard unit did not have that. This mounted directly to the vertical post. So this has a boom on it where you can actually bring the microscope out further, probably to get larger things underneath of it. If you're working on a surface mount device radio or something, you can get that under there without having to you know, take the camera off the mount and trying to hold it at an angle or whatever. So that's pretty neat that they did that on the Pro. I'm not sure what all the other features that the Pro has other than the standard version, but we'll look at it and see if we can figure some of it out. Alright, so to put this together, looks fairly straightforward. This is a clip kit. It bolts here to actually hold boards. It's got little fingers on it. We probably won't be using that no time soon. There is a user manual. Tells you about everything in it. All the things you can do with it. So forth. We probably won't be using that. At least for right now we won't. There's a slip ring on here, so you can set the height of the camera and it won't fall down on it. But this should just screw in here. Turn this around to the back. Okay, we got this block here that slides on. We can tighten that up. This has like a D shape. It's flat on one side, and I will say the tolerances on this is quite good. You don't see this wobbling all around. It fits in that pretty good. We'll tighten that up. This is our monitor and camera. It's got a focus ring, and if you look, the end of it doesn't turn, it just turns from here to here. So nice focus ring, and it's good and stiff. You can feel the resistance on it. It has a screw-on protective lens. It's probably a UV lens on it. And one thing that I've seen a lot of people do is that when they mount the camera in here, they'll mount it and slide it all the way down. There's a little groove, and there's two thumb screws that lock this camera into place. Now we can raise this on up, but you know, having it mounted that far down, unless you're looking at something really close, is going to limit your distance in between whatever you're looking at and the lens. If you want to do some soldering in here, you know, you want this microscope up as high as you can get it. So if you look here, you can see that little ring that those thumb screws go in. There's also one down here at the bottom, and if you look at the mount, if you get a close up of that, you can see that that screw has a little tab on it that is plastic, and that keeps from scarring up the microscope. So we can just push this into that first groove. And that locks it right into place. Now it comes with a HDMI cable that plugs into the top of the monitor. This can go to an external monitor. You can plug it into your computer to do video capturing on screen, or you can plug it into some cameras or to your junction box for video capturing. So that makes it pretty neat that while you're doing this, you can capture video. There's a remote control. It uses a pair of AAA batteries. And then in this bag is our power cord. And the power cord has a off on button on it, and you can also control these two LED lights that's mounted down here to shine on your work. You can brighten them or dim them. Well, we have a straight mini, looks like a 3/16 plug, and then a looks like an Android type USB for power to the system. So your light wire plugs directly into the base that feeds the LEDs. And looking here across the top of the camera, you can see there's a mini SD slot. There's our power connector, and there's our HDMI connector. So this just plugs right into the mini USB. So now all we do is take this USB cable, plug it into this adapter, and plug it in. AC. We see our two lights just come on, and the screen's coming on. Go ahead and pull the protective film off. Okay, I just took the manual and put it underneath of it. Let's get this focused in. There we go. And on the remote control, you got a zoom. Where you can zoom in. And it tells you what the zoom is. This is 2.3. And we can zoom all the way out. So that's pretty neat. It's got a great quality on the picture. That LCD is it's pretty nice. See what size that screen is. Zeros there. That's 7 inch. That's a 7-inch LCD. I'll grab a circuit board here. We'll stick underneath of it. Move our lights around. To get the glare off. Now, the way this camera is, with the distance that's in between your microscope and board on the test, you can see the field of view is not that good. We're looking at this IC chip here in the middle. When you see the edge of the crystal here, I hope this is showing up good on camera, but you can see the edge of the crystal here, and we see this resistor and part of this one, and you can see these two transistors. Now that's I'm going to say this is approximately 7 inches from the bottom of the microscope to our workpiece. But the video is great. It looks real good. This is one of those old Chinese component testers, and you can see the main chip has been sanded on, so you couldn't get the number of the chips on, which everybody knows what they are now these days. But anyway, this makes great inspection, and if we'll turn this around, you can see on the side here we got about 2 inches of travel that we can move the monitor up and down, or we can loosen up our base ring. Loosen this up, and we can drop the camera right on down, and let's see what that does. And refocus. So we're really getting in there close to the work. You see, I don't see the crystal or the two resistors on the bottom, or the transistors that's over there. So the field of view is lacking on this quite some bit, and something I did, since I knew this was coming, I went on Amazon, and this is a 0.43 times high definition AF wide angle lens. And to change that out, you just screw the protective lens off the bottom. I think this lens was about $18. I'll leave a link to it down below. And that's what our lens looks like. It is a macro lens. I actually need to get one of these for the Canon camera. But I'll put the back on the camera here, and you see the picture I'll just go ahead and screw this on. I'll refocus. Actually need to zoom out of the camera just a little bit. And yeah, that widened the shot up quite a bit. So let's see how high I can move the microscope up and still get a clear picture. Now that's not bad at all. We're doing regular inspections on the board. This would be perfect. You can see more of the board. You got a wider field of view. And then if you really need to get in there, you can just move it back down and you know, focus in on that one circuit. Not nothing here to see on the back side. We can turn it over. Check out the back side of a circuit board. Now if you're into CB radio repair or ham radio repair, you know, a lot of times we have circuit boards, especially CBs, that solder joints are cracked. This thing is big enough that you can put, I mean, this is just a Cobra 29 chassis. It sits right under here with no problems. And you can get the light just where you need to see it at. So how much room do we have under our microscope? Let's see, that's the end of the microscope there. That's 9 1/4 inches. You could actually get a pretty good sized ham radio under here. Slide it under the chassis and look at it. But for circuit board inspection, that's pretty good. We'll zoom in. That's not bad at all. I won't get into all the functionalities of this, but you got a menu button here. We can go in and look at the resolution, exposure, date stamp, sharpness, freeze, contrast, color. That's your resolution settings. It will video record onto the SD card. You can also hit just a snapshot button and take a snapshot of what you're looking at. This thing has lots of modes. You can put it on grid style. I think there's even a measurement mode on it. I'll have to read to find out more about it. You can see the red lines made it into 4 quadrants. That's kind of a negative exposed image. And you can see by doing that, that really highlights the traces. So you can look at this right here and see the traces and see if there's any breaks or something in them. Alright, well, I thought I'd play with this thing for a while. I figured out how to get the HDMI into the camera and record directly, but I've got a bigger monitor set up with the camera pointed at the monitor, so you know, you're not seeing exactly what I'm seeing. As good as the video is, it might look a little different recording off the camera like this, but I just want to go ahead and just do a little work under it and see just how useful it is using this. Okay, you know, that was pretty simple to use, a lot different than using that trinocular microscope. It really is. Problem is, you know, I wear glasses, and to look through my microscope, I pretty much have to take my glasses off. And then when I'm reaching for stuff like tweezers or solder or whatever, you know, I don't have my glasses on. I can't see that good without them. This, I'm not having to look through two ports. And, you know, as you saw, I was able to remove those components and then place them right back on. I know I was using the wrong size iron to do that with, but that was just for demonstration purposes, and I just didn't bother by changing out the tips. So yeah, that worked pretty good. And again, you can see, you know, it's my hand between the microscope and the workpiece. You know, that's a lot of work difference, and with the wide angle lens, that really helps a whole lot also. So, you know, again, if you got something larger like a computer motherboard or a board out of a arcade game or something, you know, you can just loosen this up and you can push just right on out. And, you know, that's 10 inches from it, you know, so if your board's 20 inches wide, you can get to the center of it with no problems. Plus you can raise this on up higher if you need to. Another thing you can do is loosen this bolt here, and you can angle this thing back at an angle if you know, needed to. So there's, you know, several different possibilities there. Alright, so there you go, guys, the Andonstar AD407 Pro digital microscope. I'll leave the links down to it in the description box below. I'll also link the macro lens. This unit is around, I think at the time of purchase, Okay guys, at the time of this production of this video, this unit is going for $239 American dollars, and I think the difference between, from what I can see from the standard unit and the Pro, is the ability to raise the microscope up higher, and the extension that I showed you where you can slide it out. I think that's what the difference is that they put a different neck on it so that you can give you more flexibility of moving around. Anyway, I'll leave the links to this here, and as you can see right now it's $239. Could go up. You know, it's hard to say with the way the economy is right now. We're not sure just how long this price will be at that, but it's not bad. I've seen the standard unit, I think, as high as $278, so it's not a very cheap piece of equipment, but it's a decent quality piece of equipment. I'm impressed with it. It seems to you know, work as advertised. And you know, for inspection, if you really need to get down close and zoom in high on the components, you know, you can always drop it down. Now you can't work under this difference. That's about 2 inches, but as you can see, you can really get down closer, and then we can even zoom on into that. And that's great for inspecting solder joints. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It always helps. And you know, hit that like button. That helps also. Guys, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.